this female ideal of, the ultra skinny, size 0, anorexic type looking model that is being kind of put in everyone's face. Okay, that's encouraging, even in some cases, eating disorders and body dysmorphias and stuff like that for young girls. Okay, maybe we want something that's a little more in line with, an actual healthy body and what what women look like. But nope, we overshot. Now you're putting morbidly obese people on magazine covers and telling women they can be healthy at any size. Fat is beautiful, big is beautiful. Anyone who even has a problem with that, it's because they're a bigot or because men are sexist, or actually if you don't like obese women, it's because you're racist. I've seen that argument. And it's just like, what are we doing here? Right? So I think all of these things are examples of overcorrection. And it's causing a lot of problems. I've said before, something I've quoted a few times, it's a quote of mine, I'm quoting myself, but I've said that any social movement without a clearly defined finish line will end up becoming what it initially sought to fight against, right? So if you start out wanting to combat this thing, but you achieve the goal or you achieve the balance and you just keep on going, eventually the people pushing that become the actual bigots and the genuinely intolerant. And
well, that's so true. I mean, feminism is case in point there. And I've gotten criticism for daring to say that the original feminists got it right when it came to, yes, women are equal to men in dignity and they should be treated equally under the law. And yes, they should be able to vote and work. But then we took the power that we had and we weaponized it against men, and we weaponized it even the worst against children. And now to be a feminist is to be pro-abortion. It's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah,
and that was part of the problem in the 90s too. So there was, how old were we in the 90s? I think you're just a few years older than me, but how
under 10.
So it's hard to, I think we always look back. I think this is older generations too. And you look back at your childhood with rose-colored glasses, like it was good in the old days. Now the kids are crazy. But we had horrible abortion rates, even higher actually in the 90s than we have now. But it's because feminism is like, okay, we won these things, but now we want what? We need to we're just going to keep fighting. It wasn't just, we got the right to vote, we got the right to work, the right to not be fired if we're pregnant. And now it's like, we're going to go kill babies.
Yeah. Yes. And what's funny is, the other elements, oh gosh, I didn't even bring over the biggest overcorrection, the whole LGBTQ plus 2AAP XYZ movement, right? I mean, it started literally as LGB. Then LGBT, like every couple of years, they're literally adding letters to the thing. The LGB is not even relevant anymore. It's all about the T now and the T's and the Q's. And it's overshot its mark. It went from, hey, you know what? Let's stop gay bashing. Let's stop being viciously discriminatory and calling people the F word and, doing this and doing that. Let's have genuine tolerance in society and not mistreat people based on these various things, right? That was the original thing, right? Actual cool, hey, we want equal rights, we want fair treatment, we don't want to be bullied and beaten up and harassed on the street.
Well, it's one thing to not get obviously if you have same-sex attraction, you should not be bullied, you should not be fired, you should not, you have equal dignity and I think equal rights to anyone else, but that's different than saying, now I'm going to redefine marriage.
That's the overcorrection.
And say, I should have the same marriage rights and I should be able to adopt children and do all of these things. That's another step. So tolerance means different things to different people.
It does.
For tolerance for, LGBT movement today, it's like we should be able to, have the same rights as a man-woman marriage. We should be able to adopt children, create children via surrogacy and IVF. There's basically a child doesn't deserve a mother and a father. That's not even a consideration anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a rights movement that I think our societies probably need is a children's rights movement.
100%.
Right? Why does that not exist? I think,
let's do it.
In many,
I'm working on it a little bit over here.
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways,
so true.
The solipsism and selfishness of adults is being put over the younger generation, right? So there's so many situations where children are not even being considered, right? In a healthy society, adults are willing to sacrifice themselves for children. At least at a minimum, sacrifice their comfort or sacrifice their random selfish wants and desires and feelings and emotions, right? That's how it should be. Children are the future. so you should be willing to, make massive compromises for them.